lot of people have been saying that I hate on Milsim players, and I don't necessarily. I just have a level of disdain for them, much the same level of disdain I have for tournament players. But if you really want me to explain it, let's talk dinner. There used to be this place in downtown Chicago called Ed DeBevick's, and it was kind of a chain place. They had a bunch all over the country, but the one in Chicago is the one I'm familiar with. It was a $10 burger joint, if you know exactly what I'm talking about. They had, you know, stuff all over the walls, plastered everywhere. This themed out to the 1950s, so they had Elvis on the wall. Young Elvis, not old Elvis. And they'd be blasting Bill Haley and the Comets and Little Richard and, you know, Chuck Berry and stuff. You could barely hear the guy across the table from you half the time. All the waitresses were really ultra sassy. They wore poodle skirts. They had their hair up in a specific... You know where I'm going with this. And the place was a $10 burger joint. And for $10, you'd expect the burgers to be better. And they were not so great. But they had a line out the door, and they usually had about an hour-long wait on weeknights. Weeknights. Thing is that there was also a restaurant a couple blocks up the road that was actually around in the 50s. Really modernized a couple times, but it was the same basic place from the 1950s. And a lot of people didn't go there because, like, oh, that's not what the 50s is like. The 50s is more like this place. It's more like Ed DeBevick's. Which brings me to the whole paintball thing. Yeah, if you didn't see that coming, then you really haven't watched the show very often, have you? You see, people want to remember the past for what they think it should have been, not what it really was. And this is the way I see most people who do Milsim. They want to emulate what they think the military experience is like by having big honking guns and lots of stuff hanging off of a tack vest and wearing all the gear. But the reality is not so much. But what I was thinking about is, well, where are these guys emulating this? Where are they getting this entire concept from? And then it suddenly dawned on me, oh yeah, it's generic first-person shooter of the week. When you play those games, they have this, for lack of a better way to put it, hyper-reality of what the military experience should be, what you should dress like, what you should look like, and that's what most of these Milsim players are emulating. But the thing is, though, I kind of get it. I mean, I understand. This is recreational for you. This is having fun. This is cosplay. You're dressing up and playing pretend, and that's okay. I mean, you're paying your money to do so, so who am I to actually, you know, rain all over your parade for that? But on the other hand, I'm looking at this from the perspective of, why are you telling me that you're a hardcore Milsim player when you're not actually emulating what what reality is? You're doing this hyper-reality thing that isn't even close to the real thing. And for anybody who's going to get on my case about this, I feel the same way about tournament players. If you're going to pretend to be an athlete for a weekend, that's fine. Just own up to it, and I'm fine with that. Don't tell me you're all hardcore and stuff, that what you do I can't be done by anybody else because I'm a professional athlete. No, you're not. You're just some dude who had money. I mean, I guess that's all I'm saying here, is if you're going to do it, just own up to the fact. And I'm fine with that. That's cool. Just don't try to pretend and tell me something that you're not. Then again, what do I know? I'm just some guy on the internet.